Hello everyone, so a new Elden Ring DLC story trailer has been released earlier today. Now this trailer has thrown huge hints about the lore of Elden Ring and DLC content. Although the release trailer is of 3 minutes, but the lore shown depicts so much information that it will require lore experts days if not weeks to uncover the minute details. I would try to break this trailer and explain what we are looking at and what can be expected. So now let's watch the trailer together and then get into breaking it down. But if you have already watched the trailer, you can skip to the next chapter.
The beginning. The seduction and the betrayal. An affair from which gold arose. And so too was Shadow born. What followed was a war unseen. One that could never be put to song. A purge without grace or honor. The tyranny of Mesmer's flame. And so kindly Miquella would abandon everything. His golden flesh, his blinding strength, even his fate. But we are not deterred. We choose to follow. Will you walk with us? The beginning.
So, the first thing we see in this trailer is the hand of Queen Marika, which enters into this cloth fetching some strands of golden hairs. We know this is hand of Marika because of this bracelet and the armband on the arm that we will see a little later in this video. Now there are some speculation that this hand going into flesh or womb, but I believe this is a cloth which contains an infant, which can be none other than Miquella. The reason I believe this is because firstly the appearance of this structure does not match with any organ apart from vagina. But if you look at it closely, when the hand goes inside, you can clearly make out that the movement of this thing is not flesh, but some kind of a cloth. Also, if you look at the corners, there are markings which appear on the edge of some kind of a blanket or a duvet. This makes more sense also because we know Miquella is son of Marika, and obviously it is clear that she is not putting hand inside her. Now, in the next cut, we see that she is walking on the corpses and she says that from this affair, the gold arose and so too shall shadow arose. Now, it can have two meanings as well. The first is well known, suggesting the birth of the Earth Tree and shadow of the Earth Tree, which is the setting of the DLC. However, there can be another hidden meaning. If you take this sentence in context of the visuals in the first part, I think it can also mean that the birth of Miquella, which is gold, along with the birth of Mesmer, which is shadow. Or maybe Mesmer is the evil shadow of Miquella, I don't know. Well, and if you remember from the gameplay trailer of Elden Ring DLC, Mesmer referred Marika as his mother. Now, if that's true, then Queen Marika has triplets, which is Malenia, Miquella, and Mesmer. Now in the next cut we see that Queen Marika is holding these golden strands in the air while you see that her hairs and clothes are all blowing up in the strong wind. Now this thing happens when you are into very strong power or when you are receiving very strong power. And if you look at the shape of this hair, it is forming an Elden ring. So I don't know, maybe I have this feeling that she's getting this power from these hairs, or maybe she has sacrificed Miquella and now she's using his hairs to get more power, but that's also one thing yet to be discovered. Now, there's one more detail here. If you look at it, there are piles of bodies which I think are the roots of the Earth Tree. Now, why I believe this is because the Earth Tree was born after Marika. And if we remember, like the Earth Trees, they are made up of piles of bodies. So maybe these are the roots of the Earth Tree. And there's another thing. If you look at the color of the sky, it looks gloomed, which can refer to the Gloam-Eyed Queen, and also that her era is now ending and the new era of Golden Order is now starting. Now in the subsequent cut we see that there is a great battle taking place where the Mesmer's forces have placed siege around this castle under the shadow of the Earth Tree, and it's very clear from this cut that they are winning. Now if you look at this wonderful detail here, you will see that the Mesmer flame are moving just like as they are small snakes. Now this is very cool because it aligns with the snake that wraps around the Mesmer. Now in the next cut we see that there is a lady which is crouched on the ground, and this lady can be the very same lady she was sitting on the throne, probably in the Caria Manor or the study hall that we saw in the gameplay trailer. Or maybe she is the Gloam-Eyed Queen, or another possibility is that she is the leader of the House of Marias. Now these are speculations at the moment and we need more information about it. Now in the next cut we see that this lion dance, and which is fighting with the Mesmer's forces. And as we know that this lion dance, basically this is from the civilization of the shadow of the Earth Tree. So it is safe to assume that Mesmer is basically at fight with the civilization of the shadow of the Earth Tree. And the next cut we see that Mesmer has impaled basically all of these lions, and hence by getting the name Mesmer's Impaler. Now we don't know basically why Mesmer is at war with this civilization. Maybe he is evil, or maybe he is doing this under the influence of his mother Marika. Well, that's still yet to be known. Now after that, the angle of the trailer shifts towards Miquella, where we see that there is this rune of Miquella that has strands coming out from the ground. Now these are the same strands that Queen Marika was holding up in start of this trailer, and that is the reason I was a bit speculating that maybe Marika has sacrificed Miquella, which is the reason of Miquella abandoning everything, his flesh, his golden and everything. Well, obviously now this is an alternate view that came into my mind while I was making this video, and this is a speculation, but I thought that I should be sharing it with you guys. We then get a shot of Miquella walking in the fields of Shadow of Earth Tree, but still we are not able to see his face. Next we see is Santorina, which is basically drowning up in the sleep and in the dreams. In the final shots of this trailer, we see that there are some NPCs that are standing in front of the Miquella's rune, and they are basically vowing that they will follow Miquella. Now another main question of DLC is, what are the intentions of Miquella in this realm of Shadow of Earth Tree? Whether he is really kind, or he has some ill intentions, or he wants some revenge. Well, we will see that in the Shadow of the Earth Tree.